What's going on, guys? Today we're gonna be putting this MSD Pro Billet distributor in the blue C10. It's back, it's in the shop. Out of the rain, got it in last night so it didn't get wet. And we're gonna swap out the old ATI distributor. Oh, my light's going dead. We're gonna swap that one out and run this Pro Billet that will link in with the atomic system, so it will now control the timing electronically. So yeah, gotta find a spot for this and the coil. Try to find somewhere nice and neat over there underneath the hood, and then of course figure out what size chip we're gonna put in it for the limiter. This is the 6AL. That's what the customer brought me. It's not the 6AL2. It don't have a two-step or nothing. It's just the one with the limiter. So that's all he needs for this truck. There's no sense in. It's just a cruiser. It does not need a two-step or anything like that. So we're gonna start getting some of this took apart. Get the old distributor out. I got to get that thing up on top dead center and pull the breather off of it. Get the distributor out, get the new one in, and figure out a spot. You know, I'm thinking here, there's really no good flat spot up on the firewall. So, well, there went my light completely that time. So we're gonna find somewhere like that to put it. So, anyways, let's get started. Get this breather off here. And they used some spacers last time. Let's set up. So of course we got to pull the old distributor out, but going back to the directions from the MSD atomic system, of course it was optional at the time. It's used, these two wires are used for timing control for MSD distributor. It's only used when controlling ignition timing, and it's going to be a violet and a green wire. And I think that I've got those wrapped up back here somewhere. Yep. There they are. See if I can get back in there and get them zip tie cut. I put it way back there so you didn't see it, and now I gotta try to get way back there so I can see it. Alright, so I got an extra wire in here too that I'm going to have to rebundle up. That is for if you run in nitrous. Actually, no, that's in a different spot. This one right here is all wrapped up in this one thing, I think. Let's see, it's been a minute since I did this. Yep, there it is. Right there. As you can see on here, that plug will plug right into here. So, yep. Make sure. Yep. What that does. So that's the only plugs that'll go into here. I do believe. So let me get that old, get it rolled up on top dead center, get that old one off, or out, and then we will get this new one dropped in. Alright, well, learned a few things between now and then. I'm gonna have to hold off on this for a little bit because I need to be able to move this truck in and out of the shop. I've got to wait on some parts. I've got to have a adjustable rotor button for the new distributor because we had to lock it out, and you have to have an adjustable to be able to fine tune it according to the MSD instruction manual. So that's gonna have to go on hold for a second, but I can move on and mount this box, and I think it kind of looks a little tacky. You know, this is not a race car. This is a cruiser car show kind of truck. I don't really want it to be just jump out in your face, although it is kind of cool to look at. But I think I'm going to mount it right here on the side of that mount right there. I'm pretty sure that's where it's going to go. I might drop it down a little bit to kind of hide it a little bit more. You know, there's different spots that I could do it. I think it's going to be right here. My other option, which I think I've changed my mind on, was to build a custom bracket so it could go right here. Would kind of cover the battery, make like a cased-in battery tray out of some aluminum. But I think that I've changed my mind on that, but you never know. I might get a wild hair and decide to do that. So I'm gonna mount this in the meantime. Any of y'all wondering, I had to call and ask. This is the older style box. There's nothing wrong with that going for this system. In the instructions you might read, it says to use the digital ignition box. Call them to double check. That does not matter. So you can use the old box, new box, any of them, it doesn't matter. So that I did double check with that, so that's good. So we're gonna mount this. We're gonna go ahead and get everything ready to wire it up, have all the wires ran. I'm not gonna hook any of them up in case I need to move the truck in or out, because we've got some other things going on. I can't just leave the truck in here all the time right now. Wish I could. Wish I had some more shop space, but it's just one of those things. So we're gonna go get started on that. I gotta go into town to get a few parts and a piece of hardware. I want some rubber mounts to go underneath the box. That way it's not vibrating itself to death. So I gotta go get some of the hardware, and then we'll be back and get that thing mounted up. See you then. Alright guys, well, I've moved locations in the shop. It is several days later than the last video I made. I had to quit working that day and go do some other work. I kind of forgot to record today, but I have mounted this box here. I didn't think I wanted to mount it where other spots, so I decided to make this bracket out of aluminum diamond plate. It just mounts here to where the battery hold down is, and down there with a nut cert through the inner fender. So I've done that. Right now I'm making my harness up for the 6AL box. You can see this is the factory harness. I've run it in, been taking some time making this look as clean as possible. You can see these are the coil wires. I mounted the coil with nut certs as well. So now I've just been making the harness for the 6AL box, and then tying it in to the harness for the Atomic. And so yeah, not much left to do on it. I just got to run a few more wires. It takes some time getting this braided loom over the wire. That's just taking a lot of time right now, but it makes it's well worth it as far as looks. It looks really clean, and all my wires are going to run right up through here just like they do, and I'll have one wire that has to go over to this. And the rest of them will be all right here. So, and of course, a power wire. I'm debating on making a cover for the battery out of the diamond plate. Just to kind of, it'll mount here and here on the hold downs as well. But it would kind of cover all this up. Might get with the customer and see if that's what he wants to do. I might decide to do it, might just decide not to do it. Depends on how much time I have left over after I get all this done. So after I get this wired in, I'm going to do it tonight, and then tomorrow I'm going to pull the distributor and get the new one in. I have the, excuse my mess over here, I've got the MSD lockout cap, or I'm sorry, rotor button. And I'll go through that whenever I put it in, just like I showed you how to lock the distributor out. I'll show you how to install that. But right now it looks like a mess. I've got wires going everywhere. It will be cleaned up here in just a little while. So, and then finished up hopefully tomorrow with the distributor put in. But that's the update for right now, and we'll be back after I get all these wires ready and cleaned up, and then tomorrow we'll get the distributor set in. So here we go. Good morning, guys. It is the next day out here in the shop with the truck again. Got late last night, and we did finish up what I wanted to finish up. So yeah, there it is. You've pretty much seen all this already, but I've got my wires ran down below, and it just snakes right up in here. Wire to the coil comes in behind it. Got it. You can see I had to run one wire up into here, wire it into the atomic harness there. So now all I've got left on the wiring to do is to put some loom over these, put some better heat shrink terminals on the end so it looks real nice and clean. And I'm going to run them. It'll be really clean coming right up beside the main negative and positive battery cables, and I'll short this one up obviously. But that being said, now I'm going to get started on taking the distributor out. I got to get it up on top dead center. Luckily it does look like it has a pretty good indicator down there, so I'm going to get that brought up and get that distributor pulled out and drop a new one in. But so yeah, I will tell y'all, some people I'm sure know about some cardboard cutouts. If I can find my piece, I'll probably never be able to find the darn thing. Let's see. Yeah. Well, there it is. All right. So this right here is what turned in to this bracket. So just take some cardboard, cut it out to what you think is going to work, and bend it around, do what you need to do, tape pieces on there, and then you can trace it out on a piece of steel or metal that you have and make something that you didn't have before. I think it looks pretty good. There's not really any options other than inside the cab, and there's not a lot of room in there either, and just kind of thought maybe that'd be the best place for it. So anyways, we're gonna move on to this. Let's get it. I was want to remind you one more thing. Even though we're on top dead center, you could be 180 degrees out. It could be on the exhaust stroke. You need to be on the compression stroke to be up on top dead center. So pull your cap off your distributor and make sure that your rotor button is pointing towards cylinder number 1, which is the first one, if you're looking at it on the right side. But if you're classifying it as a side of the vehicle, it's going to be on the left side. So that's how you know. Otherwise, you're going to be 180 out, and your rotor button is going to be facing exactly 180 degrees opposite way that way. So you want to double check that before you pull the distributor out. So, but we're good to go. All right, so I have an MSD Pro Billet distributor here. You can see no vacuum advance. So I'm going to take the cap off. I have already installed this adjustable rotor button, but I'm going to show y'all just how it works. So here it is. You take this screw out right here, and it adjusts. You can adjust your retard in advance on phasing the button right here, the rotor. The application I need 15 degrees retard. There it is there. They're in 5 increments. But you see the bolt here and a bolt there. That's what holds the cap down. This bolt just holds this upper part, the phasing part of it down. Once you get that on, they send you this card to test and see if that is tall enough. And just check that. Once you're done with that, you're good to put the cap back on. And let's get it lined up where it goes. There you go. There we go. Alright guys, I'm about to start this thing up. So I've got the distributor in, as you can see. Put the air cleaner back on. Got the distributor plugged up. Got my coil wire on. Had to make it. And now I have got my controller plugged in. Got the battery charging up a little bit. And I have to go, you got to go on here, and there is a setting to lock out the timing. That's the first step. You lock out the timing, and then you come over here with your timing light and set the timing with it locked out. Set the timing as in move the distributor around, and it does say, let's see, start the engine and using the timing light, move the distributor to 15 degrees before top dead center. That's where it's at right now. Tighten down the hold down clamp. Leave the lock timing screen, and this will take you back to the ignition timing. Important. So pretty much you just gotta read this and set it up that way. But I'm letting the battery charge up, and then we'll get started it. Alright, well, I've got this thing started. Got it timing set at 15 degrees before top dead center. I've still got the battery charger on it. I'm going to get in here and lock down this hold down. Or lock down the distributor with the hold down. Let's see. That ought to be good. Now I'm going to go turn the key back on, go back out of the lockout timing, and go through the other settings. Alright guys, got it back out of the shop. I had some issues trying to get it to run finally. Once I did, it seems to be running good now. I Still got this hooked up. See, everything's good right now. It does sound good still. It's not running as rich as it was. Listen here. Still a little rich, but maybe that'll tune out with driving a little bit. I'm hoping it does. Yeah, here she is. I'm gonna turn it off for a little bit, let it sit for a second, start it up and take it down the road. Alright, y'all, headed down the driveway. Idling good, running good. Let's see how this thing reacts out on the street. Oh, it's hard to see. I can't see nothing right now. Apologize for that. Oh, there's a big old deer. Can't see that either. We don't want those out. I'll tell you that right now. I hate test driving this truck at night, but with my work schedule, it's the best I can do right now, unless I wait till the weekend. Just be easy, watch out for deer. Seems to be doing fine right now. Be back with an update in just a minute. Well guys, it did good. As you can see, I'm pulling it back in the shop. It did good. Everything seemed like it's working. Timing seemed good. Everything drove good. Good as you could ask for. I do think it gave it a little bit more power. Throttle response feels a lot better. Seems to rev a lot quicker. I guess that's just a combination of the 6AL and the timing as well. But you really can't ask for much more than that. It revs right as soon as you put your foot on the throttle. It's definitely an upgrade from what it was. I adjusted. Oh, it sounds great. Wow. I adjusted it from a mild cam, which is a medium setting, to the lower street stock cam, in hopes to get the running rich cleaned up. I do think that helped a lot. Shout out to the customer actually for putting me on that, as I don't have much experience on this MSD ignition stuff. So anyways, here it is. All right guys, we got everything cleaned up from the mess I had. It was terrible. A lot of cleaning up here to do still. Went through some of my parts, got some stuff for the Camaro, a few little things. Intake and carburetor might go on the 305 that's in the car. That might be another project coming up here soon. And if you remember from the previous videos, it is just a factory 305 2-barrel car, and of course I got that 385 going in it, but might do that in the meantime, just see what the 305's got, and go ahead and change the gear out in the rear end. Might even put a cam in it. Just kind of toy around with it for a little while until I get all the rest of my high dollar parts together. I got a few things laying around. It wouldn't cost me but a couple $100. Might do that. But anyways, guys, stay tuned for that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Perkins Garage. Thanks for watching.